So now we discuss about this triangular inequality, and this was that inequality. Ki mod of Z1 plus Z2 will be always less than equal to mod Z1 plus mod of Z1 plus Z2 is less than equal to mod Z1 plus mod Z2 and greater than equal to mod Z1 minus mod Z2. This is called as the triangular inequality. Anywhere you can apply, it's not necessary for complex number. Same rule will be there for vector also, and same rule will be there for the simple algebraic mod. So everywhere the same rule, because there is no link with the concept of the complex number or the vector or something. So this point we have to understand, and we should know how to use these points carefully. Now here one question we have to understand. This is the less than equal to, but in triangle, if I say this is the one triangle A, B, C, so what you will say ki A will be always less than B plus C. You will never say equal to B plus C. If it is going to form a triangle, how is it possible that the third side will be equal to sum of two sides? That is not possible. So it's only less than. So equal sign coming from where? Because Z1, Z2 is not saying ki we have to form triangle. It's a by chance we are using this triangle logic to identify the things. What will happen? Imagine if this B and C, Z1 and Z2, this is less than equal to. In the case, equal to when will happen, that we have to understand. Mod of Z1 plus Z2, mod of Z1 plus Z2 equal to mod Z1 plus mod Z2. Think when will happen? When Z1 and Z2 both are in the same direction. When the Z1 and Z2 both are in the same direction, then mod of Z1 plus Z2 will be equal to mod Z1 and mod Z2. Means if angle between Z1 and Z2 is 0 degree. Understood? And this side equality when will happen? Mod of Z1 plus Z2 is equal to mod Z1 minus mod Z2. Again mod I have to put. I hope you understood why we are putting again one mod, because this quantity can be negative also, but this left side quantity cannot be negative. So this will happen only if angle between Z1 and Z2 is 180 degree. That means anti-parallel. So if they are parallel, mod of Z1 plus Z2 will be equal to mod Z1 plus mod Z2. If they are anti-parallel, mod of Z1 plus Z2 will be equal to mod Z1 minus mod Z2, whole mod. Understood? If they are neither parallel nor anti-parallel, so surely the value of this will lie between these two. So the maximum value of this will be this much and minimum value of this will be this much. Is it clear to everybody? So this is it's a very, very important property which you should keep in mind. Now let me show you some kind of the example on this. All of you wrote it? Can I move it? Okay. Let's try to think some question. Suppose question is coming this way. Ki if mod of Z minus I is equal to 10. Mod of Z minus I equal to 10. Then find maximum and minimum value of mod Z. Now, it's a simple question. We'll see so many ways of solving this question, but first understand the meaning of the question and what exactly I'm trying to tell to all of you. When we talk maximum and minimum of anything, when that quantity is variable, if any quantity is constant, you will not talk about the maximum minimum value. Suppose I'm saying what is the maximum and minimum value of the 5? This is a stupid question. How can you talk about the maximum minimum value of the 5? 5 is the fixed number. Anything vary, then only we say it's reached maximum, it's reached minimum. So 100% sure, this 5, nobody will ask you what is the maximum value, what is the minimum value. Now, they are asking maximum minimum value of mod Z. So first verify, is the Z is constant or variable? If Z is constant, then there is no talk about the maximum and minimum value of the mod Z. Z, I have to see that it's a constant or variable. Cross check. I don't know anything about Z, but I know one complex number Z minus I, whose magnitude is 10. if I say magnitude of a complex number z is 5, is the z constant or variable? Variable. Arey bhai, 5. Infinite number of complex number can be happen whose magnitude will be 5. Yes or no? Suppose I say this line length is 5. Correct? So now mod z is 5. This mod z is, this z is also 5. All this z, wherever my pen is moving, all this z, mod z is how much? It's a 5 unit. So there will be infinite number of complex number will be there. So z minus I modulus is known, argument is not known. So it means it's a variable. It's a variable. Have you understand why it's a variable? Is it clear to everybody? Now, z minus I is variable. That's perfect. Z minus I is variable. Okay. If z minus I is variable, I can say z equal to variable plus constant. This much you don't have to do. Just for the initial stage I'm telling you. Okay. Z equal to variable plus I. I is a constant quantity. Am I right? So variable plus constant will be what? Variable. So we'll say simply it's a variable. So what we decided ki z is variable. If z is variable, then it's very much right to ask a question ki what is the maximum value, what is the minimum value. Have you understand the point? Question meaning try to understand. Solving question is not a big deal. If we won't understand the what exactly mean by the question, then we can't do anything. So z is variable, there is confirmed. Now z is variable. Now we have to find out maximum minimum value of the mod z. Think. Z, I have to find maximum minimum value of this quantity, which is inside a mod. So first I have to do something so that I can make it outside. So what I will do, I can say mod of z minus I will be always less than equal to. Think carefully. This value mod of z minus I can write out mod of z plus minus I. So mod of z1 plus z2. What is the z1? Z. What is the z2? Minus I. Will be always less than equal to mod z. Mod z1 plus mod of z2. Mod of z2 means mod of minus I. What is the mod of minus I? 1. Right? Mod I is 1, so mod I minus I will be also 1. It's 1. Will be greater than equal to mod of mod z minus 1. Till here everybody understood. Is it clear? Now, what is known? I know this value 10. So I will say 10 less than equal to mod z plus 1 greater than equal to mod z minus 1 whole mod. Try to recall when we are doing basic maths. I told you whenever fx greater than equal to b is coming, solve this portion and take common value. Do you remember? All of you remember? So what I will do? First I will solve this portion. I will get the mod z value. And then I will solve this portion. I will get the mod z value. So if you solve this portion, you will get what? Mod z greater than equal to 9. First condition. When I will solve this, be clear. This mod is not symbolic mod. It's an algebraic mod. So we are getting mod of mod z minus 1 less than equal to 10. So we will use this formula mod x less than equal to a. So x always lie between minus a to plus a. Remember all of you. So mod z will minus 1 lie between minus 10 to plus 10. Directly I am writing. So mod z will lie between minus 9 to plus 11. Second condition. Yes or no? Of course, mod z cannot be negative. Now, I have to take what? Common value between them. So if you common value, you will get it. So what the common value will come? 9 to, I am doing everything correct now? 9 to 11. So what is the mod z maximum value? 11. And mod z minimum value? 9. Did you understand? Is it clear to everybody? No, we'll do by some other way also, don't worry. But I'm just trying to make you understand that property. Write down quickly, everybody. If anybody is still writing, take a screenshot. I'm going to change the page. Okay. One more question. Write it. If mod of z plus 4i minus 3 is equal to 10, then find maximum and minimum value of mod z. Quickly, same type of question. See, never get confused ki sir, you gave the formula for mod of z1 plus z2 and you are doing for mod of z1 minus z2. It's the same thing. Mod of z1 minus z2 also will be less than equal to mod z1 plus mod z2 greater than equal to mod z1 minus mod z2 whole mod. Because z1 minus z2 is nothing but z1 plus minus z2. And mod of minus z2 will be same as the mod z2. There is no difference. Get the answer quickly, everybody. Check it here. This we can write what? Mod of z plus minus 3 plus 4i or 4i, whatever. I'm just writing in the form of a plus iv. Will be always less than equal to mod of z plus, this is my z1, this is my z2. Mod of minus 3 plus 4i. What is the mod of minus 3 plus 4i? Root of 9 plus 16. That will become root 25 means 5. Greater than equal to mod z minus 5 whole. Some people are getting confusion. Okay, sir, how this is? Mod of minus 3 plus 4i. What is the mod of a plus ib? That is the root of a square plus b square. That's what the logic I apply. Nothing else I did. Now this value is given 10. So 10 less than equal to mod z plus 5 greater than equal to mod z minus 5 whole mod. Now if you solve this portion, you will get what? Mod z greater than equal to 5 first condition. When you solve this portion, you will get mod z minus 5 less than equal to 10 but greater than equal to minus 10. Or you can say mod z less than equal to 15 greater than equal to minus 5. These two common value. This is saying greater than 5, this is saying less than 15. So finally common value will come what? Mod z greater than equal to 10. No, something wrong, write it. Something wrong. What the wrong? Minus 5, 15, correct. Greater than equal to 5 here. Sorry. So mod z greater than equal to 5 but less than equal to 15. So minimum value 5 and maximum value 15. How many of you got it? So this way can be done easily whenever you have to get the inequality. It's a simple example I'm giving it, not that much. This question can be done by without this also very easily. One more question and then we'll proceed further. Find the maximum and minimum value of the mod of z. Wait. Sorry. Wait. If if mod of z minus I is equal to 5, then find maximum and minimum value of mod of z plus I. I am asking you the maximum minimum value of mod of z plus I, not mod z. Are you finished? Check it here. This much time, don't take it. Mod of z minus I equal to 5. To find maximum minimum value of z plus I. Means I want z plus I. So the given data I can write this way also. Z plus I minus 2i. Why I wrote? Because I want z plus I. Yes or no? So I will say that ki mod of z plus I minus 2i will be less than equal to mod of z plus I plus mod of minus 2i. What is the mod of minus 2i? That is a 2 greater than equal to mod of z plus I minus 2 whole mod. Question over. Now nothing more I have to done. This is the 5 less than equal to mod of z plus I plus 2 less than equal to mod of z plus I minus 2. Solve it. Rest you can do easily. Mod of z plus I greater than equal to 3. This is the first condition. And second, directly I am writing mod of z plus I minus 2 lie between minus 5 and 5. So mod of z plus I will lie 7 to, I am not explaining, I hope you can understand, greater than equal to minus 3. Yes. Now, first and second, if you do it, you are going to get mod of z plus I less than equal to 7 but greater than equal to 3. So minimum value 3 and maximum value 7. I'm sure it's clear to everybody. How many of you got it? Minimum 3, maximum 7. Okay. Very few people are getting. Yeah, that is a big problem. Anybody having difficulty? Now, in this inequality also can come one question I will show, not more than that. If mod of z plus I, same thing, so that we can save the time, less than equal to 5. Then find maximum and minimum value of z, mod z. Let's start. Mod of z plus I less than equal to 5. So I will say, first thing I will say mod of z plus I less than equal to mod z plus mod I, that is the 1. Greater than equal to, I am directly writing mod z minus 1 whole mod. Now, careful. Earlier question, this value was given, that directly we are putting this value here. But here I cannot put the value. Only condition I know, mod of z plus I is less than equal to 5. Watch very, very carefully everybody. If I say A is less than equal to B, as well as A is less than equal to C, A is smaller than B, as well as A is smaller than C, what are the relation between the B and C? Who is bigger? B bigger or C bigger? No relation. How can you make the relation? Suppose somebody say कि one X person, he is younger than the some Y person, as well as he is younger than X is Y younger than Z person. So who is younger between Y and Z? Who can know? I don't know. We can't tell. So means there is no relation between these two. 100% sure. Between mod Z plus 1 and 5, I cannot make any relation. I can say mod Z minus 1. This is less than this and this is less than 5. So this will be also less than 5. Yes or no? This is the only condition I can get it from these two. Did you understand the steps? Now, from here out I can say mod Z minus 1 less than equal to 5 but greater than equal to minus 5. Or you can say mod Z greater than equal to minus 4 but less than equal to 6. So what is the mod Z maximum value? 6. What is the mod Z minimum value? Minimum value. Don't say minus 4. Mod Z cannot be negative. So you will say 0. Because saying this is the only condition I am having. I don't have any other condition. This is saying mod Z is less than equal to 6. Less than equal to 6. So minimum till where it can go? It can go up to 0. So minimum value will be 0 and maximum value will be 6. Is this clear or simply writing all of you? Did you understand? Chaliye. So we talk about the modulus of the complex number. Now give the heading argument of properties of Z bar. Be clear, this chapter is little bit lengthy. It's not that much small chapter. Properties of Z bar means conjugate of a complex number. What are the properties can be happen? First property you already know. For getting conjugate of Z, conjugate of z, replace I by minus I. I already told you this property. Whenever you have to get the conjugate of a complex number, it will be replaced, I by will be replaced by minus I. Second, if z equal to r into e power I theta, then z bar will be what? R into e power minus I theta. Why so? Because I will be replaced by minus. What is the R here? What is the R? Mod z. This is mod z. Am I right? So, what will be z bar? Z bar. Think carefully. Multiply these two, no? Z bar, if you multiply, what will happen? R square into e power I theta into e power minus I theta to e power 0. Yes or no? So R square. R square means mod z square. Very, very important property. Z bar is always equal to mod z square. Z bar always equal to mod z square. You have to keep in mind always. Argument of. No, sorry. Cut it. Z bar is image of z with respect to real axis. This is the actual meaning of the z bar. If I say this is your z, think carefully everybody. This is your z. So if this is z, so z bar will be just this line assume as a mirror and draw the image. Something like this will come, arrow is not coming. Sometimes this computer will make arrow, sometimes it will not make arrow. So this will be z bar. Understood the point? Means it's a mirror image. So think carefully. If you take mirror image of this pen, the size of the pen will be remain same. By what is the length of this mod z? What is the length of this mod z bar? But both will be same. So that's why another property we can say mod z bar is same as mod z. Mod z bar will be same as mod z. Other property. Think. Suppose this is 30 degree. So this angle will be also 30 degree. Yes or no? But all of you know, in first quadrant angle alpha and fourth quadrant angle become what? Minus alpha. Argument become minus alpha. So we can say argument of z bar is equal to minus of argument of z. Argument of z bar is equal to minus of argument of z. Next one. Z1 Z2 bar plus Z1 bar Z2 is equal to 2 real part of Z1 Z2 bar, or you can say 2 real part of Z1 Z2 bar, Z1 bar Z2. This property later we'll write. Miss, I'm just before this some more things we have to see. Nee, this we have to write it, but at last. Before this, what is the Z plus Z bar? Z plus Z bar. 2 real part of Z. Why? Suppose z equal to a plus ib. So z bar will be what? A minus ib. So 2 into a will come, means 2 into real part of z. Same way, z minus z bar will be what? A plus ib minus, in the bracket, a minus ib. So a will get cancelled, 2ib, means 2i imaginary part of z. Arey, did you understand? And addition we understood, subtraction we understood, product we already know, z bar is equal to mod z square. Division doesn't have any kind of the conclusion, so I am not writing that. Ninth one. F z whole bar is always equal to f z bar. F z whole bar is always equal to f z bar, meaning if any expression of complex number is given and you are putting the bar on that expression, so when the bar will go inside, it will be everywhere that bar will come. Understood my point? For example, suppose somebody say z1 plus 2i plus 3 divided by 1 minus I z2 plus कुछ भी लिख लो 5 z3. This whole bar is there. I want to get a conjugate of this complete expression, not a single complex number. What I will do, this bar I will send inside. This bar I will send inside. So it will come z1 bar. Yes or no? Plus 2 bar. 2 bar will be what? 2 itself. 2 bar will be 2 itself. If z is pure real, then z equal to z bar. If you take bar on the any pure real number, it will not be affected. Why so? Arey bhai, there is no I term, so why it will be affected? Did you understand? So this bar is coming inside. So z1 bar, okay, I wrote it. 2 bar, nothing will happen, 2 will be there. I bar will become what? Minus I. So this will become minus I. Plus 3 bar means 3. Divided by 1 bar, 1. Minus I bar, minus I, so plus I, z2 bar. Plus 5 bar, 5 itself, z3 bar. This will be answer. Did you understand? Now this 11th one. Can you prove it? Hello. It's an oral question. Basically, you don't have to touch pen. Common sense should be there. One more property I want to write. 5a. Simply. What is z bar bar? What is z bar bar? Z itself. If bar will come even number of times, so every bar will get cancelled. If odd number of times, so single bar will left. I hope you understood. By 1 bar, I become minus I. Another bar, again I become minus I. So finally I will return back to original position. Did you understand? So if anybody asking you z bar, 5 bar. So that will become there. Nobody is going to ask you, but still. Z bar. Even time means all the bar get cancelled, odd time means one bar will left it out. I gave sufficient hint for this question. Still not able to solve, then means you should slap yourself. I could help you if you would be there in the classroom. Physical classroom would be going on. Then slapping I can help you. But right now all of you are safe. Look at here. Z1, Z2 bar plus, watch carefully, Z1, Z2 bar whole bar. This quantity I wrote this any problem. If this bar will go inside, Z1 bar will become and Z2 bar bar. Bar will become, they will cancel. So it's equivalent to this or not? Ab now think, it's looking like this is a complex number Z and this is the Z bar. So Z plus Z bar is what? 2 into real part of Z bar. Z. 2 into real part of Z. So it means equal to 2 into real part of this. Or you can say 2 into real part of Z bar, because real part of Z and real part of Z bar both will be same. Suppose Z equal to A plus IB. So Z bar will be equal to A minus IB. What is real part of Z? A. What is the real part of Z bar? A. So this value, this is the nothing but this. This is the Z. So I can say 2 into real part of this or 2 into real part of this. I wrote this one. Something wrong I did. Something wrong here. I did mistake. I'm sorry. Me. I didn't do mistake. Abba. हाँ नहीं correct. Bar of this will be this. Is this clear to everybody? चलिए next. So all this property, if anybody still could not write it, take a screenshot, because all these property are the important property which you have to remember. As I told you, a lot of information is there, and that information you should be having in the mind to handle the questions. I don't have any choice. I can't tell you any magic rule that can solve anything, because these are the information. It must be needed. We don't have any short way, easy way to proceed for this. Now, give the heading. Properties of argument Z. Argument Z. First one. If Z equal to A plus IB, then argument Z will be equal to tan inverse B by A. All of you already know. Be clear, when A and B value is not known, then don't think about the quadrant. Always think it's in the first quadrant. If suppose you taken Z equal to A plus IB, now you are writing argument Z. So you say, sir, argument Z is not always tan inverse B by A. It's maybe that, or maybe pi minus this, or maybe minus pi plus this. Anything can be happen. So how can you write like this? Yes, you can write by assuming that A and B are in the first quadrant. If it's wrong, so automatically A and B will come negative, and that answer will come according to that. Understood? So this is the argument Z. Now here some points you should know. Some terms are there. Argument Z, when I say, it can be anything. It can be 200 degree, it can be 1000 degree. Principal value of argument Z. Principal value of argument Z always lie between minus pi to plus pi. Do you remember this property I told you? Argument of any complex number is minus pi to plus pi. It's not actually argument, it's a principal value, which frequently called as amplitude of z. Which is frequently called as amplitude. This is the slight difference between the argument z. Argument z and amplitude z, this is the slightly difference actually. Argument z can be any angle, because they didn't ask you principal value. But if they are asking amplitude z, means they are asking you the principal value, means which should lie between minus pi and plus pi, minus pi open and pi close. Understand? Remember, whenever you have to calculate argument z, always you have to consider the principal value only. By default, it's a principal value. We always tell the principal value by default. Like suppose somebody say, listen me and answer me. These are two lines. What is the angle between these two lines? You say, sir, 30 degree. You only draw. Yes or no? So actually by default we say 30 degree, but basically only 30 degree nahi. We can say angle between these two lines is 150 degree also. Can we say or not? But by default we always say acute angle. Angle between two lines means acute angle they are asking you. If especially they mention ki find the obtuse angle between the two lines, then only you will say 150 degree. Otherwise unnecessary, it's not, you should not get confused ki sir they are asking acute or obtuse. It's a by default acute angle. Same way by default principal value you have to tell. Is this clear? Understood all of you? A problem start ki bhai how to get principal value if the argument z is given. Suppose for example if I say if argument z is equal to 347 degree, then find principal value. How will you get? Did you understand my question? Argument z, they are saying 347 degree. You have to tell the principal value. Very simple, straightforward, which I was trying to tell you in the last class, I think. But I believe I pull back myself. Now you can easily understand. Think a complex number. Complex number, the beauty of complex number is that any complex number you can rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise by 360 degree. Or one round or two round, complex number will not change. But if you rotate complex number, its argument will increase or decrease. Its argument will increase or decrease. Are you getting? So, what we will be doing the things, if suppose, listen me, suppose this is the z r into e power I theta. Correct? If I rotate this complex number and bring here, if I rotate by an angle alpha in anti-clockwise direction, which direction? Anti-clockwise. Is this complex number will be same z or something else? It will be something else because you change the direction, bhai. Suppose this is z dash. Z dash will be what? Modulus will be same because you simply rotate it. R into e power I. This is theta and this is the alpha, so theta plus alpha. What I am trying to tell you. If you rotate a complex number in anti-clockwise direction, its argument will increase by that much angle. And if you rotate in clockwise direction, argument will decrease by that much angle. Did not understand? Are you understood everybody? Now, if I say any complex number is there, this is z. Yes, r into e power I theta. If I say rotate it by 360 degree in clockwise direction, rotate it by anti-clockwise direction by 360 degree, I will get back again same thing or not. So what is the complex number now? R into e power I theta plus 2 pi. Because, but this will be also z only, because you rotated by the 2 pi angle, so complex number will not change. It means if you rotate by 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, 8 pi, complex number never change. Only argument will keep on increasing or decreasing. So that advantage we take to solve the question oral. Here argument 347 degree. I know argument is beyond principal value. It's become more. I want to make it less without changing complex number. What should I do? Rotate in the clockwise direction. Which direction? Clockwise. Means argument z will be replaced by argument z minus 360. Did not understand. Understood everybody? If you rotate this complex number in clockwise by 360, so z will be r into e power I theta minus 2 pi, and this is also z. Same will be there. Complex number will not change. So argument z 347, if I will rotate by the 360 degree in the clockwise direction, I will say argument z will be 347 minus theta minus 360. So that will be minus 13 degree. Correct, na? 30, yes. Minus 13 degree. But what the benefit happen? Now this minus 13 degree will be fall in the principal value. So I will say principal value will be minus 13 degree. Finish. Anything we can solve. It doesn't matter. Suppose somebody say, 200 degree. What is the principal value? Oral? Minus 160. Yes or no? By 200 more. No, so we have 2 degrees. If suppose somebody say minus 300 degree. Now I will rotate anti-clockwise. So I will add 360 degree. So how much will come? 60 degree. Did you understand the point? Is it clear to everybody? So we can play around it. It will not be a big deal. So all this point write in your language, take a screenshot, because now the time is, I am having other classes will be there. And analyze this. Earlier question which we discussed, convert in polar form. For that we were doing 180 plus theta something. Do by this method, you will get the answer order. It will not be a difficult task. Right? Chaliye, we'll continue in the next lecture. Thank you.